Check. We're actually live.
I thought we was waiting on the countdown. That
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Here we go. Welcome back. Episode 23. I don't want to get that
23.
wrong. I won't get that wrong. Episode 23.
23.
It is Wednesday, December 14th at 2:00 p.m. on the dot. How's everyone doing? We got Matt got cameras to the right of me and King over the third.
To the left.
At your service. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's having a good week. And we are here to update you on the past week in the world of sports. What's going on, sir?
Man, it's been a long week. Been low-key busy.
Right.
Holidays is coming up.
All that. So today is Wednesday, a little late episode. We typically have our episodes Tuesday. Variation of variables on why we're doing the episode today. But quick shout out to Rico.
Happy birthday.
Celebrity photographer, never satisfied's own Rico. Is his birthday yesterday, so
Birthday,
bunch of us was
At the
cool
the
little
Asian
spot.
barbecue.
Yeah, cool little spot.
Shout out to Addison, Texas.
Yeah, Addison. We was at this sushi bar, whatever you call it, and then we went to Knockouts and yeah.
I didn't make it to Knockouts.
Oh, okay, yeah,
was
knockouts. And then I think everyone came back to the studio. It was already past my bedtime for sure.
Oh, what?
Yeah, for sure.
I came back here too,
When
but I fell
knockouts
asleep.
closed down, I think everybody was talking about coming back here. I went home, bro. I went to the crib. All right. So okay, yeah. Shout out to Rico. Who else? Shout out to B Banks. His birthday's today. Never Satisfied's own. Yeah, B Banks' birthday today. Shout out to B Banks. I don't know if he's always around here. He's at the studio.
He
more
was
than
up
me.
here last night though.
Yeah, he's at the studio last night. Yes, B Banks. Shout out to B Banks. And last but not least, old friend of the studio, Mr. Chase.
Mr. Chase.
Chase with Calios Tacos with Special and Nesto.
Oh, Chase.
Chase's birthday was yesterday.
Shout out to Chase.
The dancing machine.
The
Dancing machine.
Yeah.
And man, shout out to Chase. You're a good guy, young guy, man. So shout out to Chase, man. It's his birthday yesterday as well.
So I just had the scores up. Let's dive into this NBA week.
NBA week. So we today is December 14th. And our last episode closed off on December 6th. So we're going to update you from December 6th, Tuesday last week, and until today. So on Tuesday, December 6th, we had 3 games. We had the Los Angeles Lakers visiting the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland 116 to the Lakers 102. Donovan Mitchell, the high man, on the winning squad with 43 points. And LeBron James, the high man, on the Lakers with 21 points. Man. Hashtag LeBron to the Cavs for sure.
Dang.
One day it has to happen. Okay, moving forward. Detroit at Miami. We had Detroit with the W, 116 to Miami's 96. Yeah, you got to break up the Miami squad at this point. They're overpaying Robinson, and we'll get to them later, but break that up already. We got Dallas at Denver. Dallas 116 to Denver's 115.
Go Mavs.
Tim Hardaway Jr., shout out to him. High man with 29 points. We got Wednesday, December 7th. We got at least about 10 games. Wednesday, December 7th, we had the Clippers visiting Orlando, 116 to the Clippers, 111 in the overtime game. Pablo, leading rookie of the year with 23 points. We have Charlotte at Brooklyn. Brooklyn 122 to Charlotte's 116. Kyrie Irving with 33 points in that game. We got Atlanta at New York. New York with the W, 113 to Atlanta's 89. Julius Randle, 34 points. Trae Young with 19 points. We got some problems with Atlanta. We'll get to them later. We got the Lakers at Toronto. Toronto 116 to the Lakers 113. We have Washington at Chicago. Chicago 115 to Washington's 111. We got DeRozan with 27 points. We have Oklahoma City at Memphis. Memphis with the W, 123 to Oklahoma's 102. John Morant's back in the lineup with 26 points. We got your Sacramento Kings visiting the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee 126 to Sacramento's 113. Giannis, the high man, with 35 points. We have the Indiana Pacers at Minnesota. Minnesota 121 to Indiana's 115. D'Angelo Russell with 26 points. and Buddy Hield 26 points with the Pacers. We got Detroit at New Orleans. New Orleans with the W. New Orleans is looking real good right now. New Orleans 104 to Detroit's 98. Zion Williamson 29 points. Golden State at Utah. Utah with the W 124 to Golden State's 123. My Filipino cousin, the high man on Utah with Jordan Clarkson with 22 points. And Jordan Poole with 36 points. Couldn't get it done. We have Boston at Phoenix. I watched this game. Boston 125 to Phoenix's 98.
Boston still got it.
Phoenix has been looking good this year, but it was a little lopsided L this game. Jaylen Brown with 25 points. Boston looking like, according to Vegas, they have a 25% chance of winning the championship today. So, and they're favored in Vegas. They leading the East, and Jason Tatum is MVP candidate.
Okay.
For sure. We have Thursday, December 8th. Those games are usually on TNT with all the guys. We got the Clippers at Miami. Miami 115 and the Clippers 110. We have Houston at San Antonio. San Antonio 118 to Houston's 109. Keldon Johnson 32 points. He's going to be their man moving forward. Denver at Portland. Denver 121 to Portland's 120. And Joker with the high man with 33 points. And Damian Lillard back in the lineup, 40 points in the loss for Portland. Moving on, Friday, December 9th. We got at least 10 games. We got New York at Charlotte. New York's 121 to Charlotte's 102. Julius Randle, the high man with 33 points. What are they going to do with him? Washington at Indiana. We have Indiana 121 to Washington's 111. Buddy Hield, the high man, once again with 28 points. We have Toronto at Orlando. Orlando with the W, 113 to Toronto's 109. We have Atlanta at Brooklyn. Brooklyn with the W. Brooklyn's starting to catch their stride. Brooklyn 120 to Atlanta's 116. Kevin Durant with 34 points and Trae Young with 33 points. We have Sacramento at Cleveland. Check it out. Sacramento 106 to Cleveland's 95. Shout out to Casper. I was just talking to Casper about this game last night. So Kings win they beat Cleveland twice this year. Once to Sacramento previously, and once in Cleveland.
For sure.
Right. So probably our other than other than the Warriors, probably our most impressive win, beating the Cavaliers this year. The Lakers at Philly. Philly with the overtime win, 133 to the Lakers, 122. The Lakers, yikes. Joel Embiid, 38 points. Anthony Davis, 31 points. We had Detroit at Memphis. Memphis with the W, 114 to Detroit's 103. We have Phoenix at New Orleans. Oh, shit. Let me tell you about this game real quick. If you pull up the clip, this would be worth it. Phoenix at New Orleans. No, it wasn't this game. No, it was this game. New Orleans 128 to Phoenix's 117. Zion Williamson 35 points. DeAndre Ayton 25 points. At the end, so the game's decided, what have you. Zion comes in, does like a little windmill showtime dunk at the end of the game. You got the Phoenix Suns upset, but it's in New Orleans. Some criticize Zion's actions, but he took accountability after the game. He said, hey, how do you say? He's like, hey, this is the team that beat my team in the playoffs last year, and I was out all year. I couldn't do anything about it. So New Orleans with the impressive win against Phoenix. We got
very talented player though.
There you go. MVP candidate as well, in my opinion. Minnesota at Utah. Minnesota's 118 to Utah's 118. We got Milwaukee at Dallas. Milwaukee 106 to Dallas is 105.
It's over. Bells. No. Get it done. And on the
Saturday,
the slam by Zion.
Saturday, December 10th. We got 2 games. We got San Antonio at Miami. San Antonio 115 to Miami's 111. We got Brooklyn at Indiana. Brooklyn 136 to Indiana's 133. Brooklyn sat a lot of their core guys and still got this W. Yeah, Cam Thomas with the high man with 33 points, and Tyrese Halliburton with 35 points in the loss for the Pacers. We have the Clippers at Washington. The Clippers 114 and Washington's 107. Paul George 36 points, still got it. Kyle Kuzma 35 points with the loss with the Wizards. We have the Oklahoma City Thunder at the Cleveland Cavaliers, Cleveland 110 to Oklahoma's 102. We have Dallas at Chicago. Chicago 144 to Dallas's 115. Let's go, Dallas.
Let's go.
What's going on? DeRozan, a high man with 28 points. Look for Chicago to break this team up. They're not even in the top 10 right now with all the moves that they've made throughout the years. We got Boston at Golden State. This was a primetime game Saturday night with Golden State 123 to Boston's 107. I watched a little bit of that game. Finals matchup's always good. Rematch. We have Utah at Denver. Denver 115 to Utah's 110. And we have Minnesota at Portland. Portland 124 to Minnesota's 118. Damian Lillard, the high man with 36 points. We have December 11th, Sunday. We have Phoenix at New Orleans. New Orleans 129 and Phoenix is 124. Zion with 28 points in that game. We had the Lakers at Detroit. The Lakers with the W, 124 to Detroit's 117. LeBron James with 35 points, still got it. Your Sacramento Kings at the New York Knicks. New York 112 to Sacramento's 99. Side note: De'Aaron Fox is out the lineup. He said he's been playing on a hurt foot the past month. So in probably the past week or two, it started to be a little bit more noticeable. He's sent out some games. Get well soon, De'Aaron Fox. We need you in the All-Star game, and we need you in the playoffs. So rest up, get well. Toronto at Orlando. Orlando 111 to Toronto's 99. We got Charlotte at Philadelphia. Philadelphia 131 to Charlotte's 113. Joel Embiid 53 points. The sleeper in the Eastern Conference, the Philadelphia 76ers for sure. Chicago at Atlanta. Atlanta 123 to Chicago's 122. And Milwaukee at Houston. Houston 97 and Milwaukee's 92. And we have Monday, December 12th. We have Miami at Indiana. Miami 87 to Indiana's 82. We have Brooklyn at Washington. Brooklyn with the W, 112 to Washington's 100. Kevin Durant with 30 points in that game. We have Atlanta at Memphis. Memphis with the W, 128 to Atlanta's 103. We have Oklahoma City at Dallas. Dallas with the win, 121 to Oklahoma's 114. Luka with 38 points. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 42 points in the loss for the Thunder. He should be a first-time All-Star this year. Possibly, should be. We have Cleveland at San Antonio. San Antonio's 112 to Cleveland's 111. Interesting. We have Minnesota at Portland. Portland with the W, 133 to Minnesota's 112. Dame with 38 points. And we have Boston at the Clippers. The Clippers with the win, 113 to Boston's 93 with Paul George with 26 points. And there we have the last week's recap of all the scores and of all the games. And if you pull up the standings, we could sum up basketball and move forward. And then yesterday too. Yeah, it didn't pop up. And then before we get to that, and then Tuesday yesterday, December 13th, we had the Kings visiting the Sixers, 123 to 103. With the Bucks beating the Warriors, 128 to 111. Milwaukee. We had the Rockets beating the Suns, 111-97 in Houston. We had the Jazz beating the Pelicans, 121, beating the Pelicans to their 100. And the game of the night last night, overtime thriller, you had the Boston Celtics defeating the LA Lakers in overtime, 122 to 118. The Celtics were up by 20. The Lakers couple all the way back, if I remember right. It went into overtime, exciting game. The Lakers are losing games they need to be winning for sure, and they're losing a lot of close games. Shout out to the Lakers. Yeah, and Jason Tatum had 44 points. And LeBron James had 33, and Anthony Davis had 37. You asking LeBron James and Anthony Davis do a lot of things, and they're not always translating to W's. So that's so we're on Lakers watch. See what they're gonna do.
What are they gonna do?
So we'll start with the Eastern Conference. Get to the standings right here. We got Boston. in first place, 22 to they're 22-7. Like I
They
said,
performed well.
looking like the early candidates to go back to the finals in the Eastern Conference. We have Milwaukee 20-7, second place. Giannis is still the man, but they're starting to grow concerns with Chris Middleton's health and how much longer are going to keep this core together, i.e. Middleton and Drew Holiday alongside Giannis. Giannis is the man forever, unless he forces his way out. But maybe they're looking to retool, not rebuild around Giannis if they don't get it done this year. We got Cleveland in third place with 17-11. Again, feel good. One of the feel good surprise teams. Let's see how far they can make it, and are they one piece away of going to the finals? Wink, wink, LeBron. We have Brooklyn in fourth place. Everybody was worried about Brooklyn. Look at them now. 17-12. Fourth place. Kyrie's back in the lineup. They should be smooth.
I actually like the Nets from this year, man.
And if they don't get it done, they're going to be in the offseason talk all year long. Probably more than any other team in the East for sure, and right along with the Lakers. We talked about them all season long for sure. Philadelphia, fifth place, 15-12, the sleeper team. They could go all the way to the finals if healthy. Let's not forget they have Doc Rivers in the lineup, top 5 coach in the league right now. Like I say, almost got it done with the Clippers, and for sure he got it done in Boston. So let's not underestimate the coaching in Philadelphia. We got New York at 6th place, 14-13th. Love the Knicks, but I think they're in the middle of the road type team. Like I said, aggressive trade would be nice to see them do. You know, they have the pieces to make a trade. They could make a trade with the Lakers. They could do a lot of things. The Knicks have a lot of valuable pieces on that on their roster, including a lot of picks. Atlanta is 7th place. They're looking like taking a step back. They were top 4 for a little bit. They're 14-14. They're having coaching issues, and they have issues with their star. Curious to see what they do moving forward. Are they going to make a big trade, or are they going to fire the coach? It's going to be one of the two, in my humble opinion. We got the Pacers 14-14. It'd be feel good to see them back in the playoffs, playing tournament, especially with my man's Tyrese Halliburton. But they look for them to make some trades. They still look. They're not done. They're not done. I could see them making. I could see the trade line being busy for sure. We got Toronto in 9th place. Maybe it's time for them to break it up. They're starting to have some of their players in trade talks. You know, they had their championship window. Respectfully, as soon as Kawhi walked out the door, left the country, they went from contenders to average team. You know, playoff team, but not contenders like they was with Kawhi on the roster. And to finish up the play-in seedings, you got Miami in 10th place at 13-15. That is not their championship pedigree DNA. Look for them to make a move as well. We got an outside looking in. You got 11-15 Chicago. They need to make a move if they want to get back in the playoffs. Same thing with Washington. They're 11-17 at 12th place. They got former Mav Porzingis on the roster, and Bradley Beal, the quarter billion dollar man. We got Orlando 8-20. They're rebuilding. Everyone knows that. Probably have the rookie in the year in Pablo over there. Charlotte 7-20. I don't even know what's going on with Charlotte. I have to look them up. But last time I checked, Lamar Ball is out the lineup.
Dang.
If I remember right. And then Detroit 7-22. Their rookie this year is Jaden Ivey. He was hurt at the beginning of the year. And their number 1 pick from last year, Cade Cunningham, has decided to get surgery. He is out for the season. So Detroit is probably looking to be a bottom 5 team this year and acquire another high draft pick. Okay, we got in the Western Conference, surprisingly, New Orleans in first place. No shade, no hate over here. Wasn't predicting that. Didn't see that. But as long as these young guys stay healthy, they're as good as any team. 18-9, New Orleans Pelicans, and they beat the Suns twice in the past week. The defending Western Conference champions. We got Memphis at 18-9. As long as Ja Morant is in the lineup and they could keep all those young guys, they're going to be around for a long time. But they got a lot of contracts coming up. They just paid Ja Morant. They got a lot of young guys there. Maybe they can't pay everybody. Moving forward, we got Denver 16-10 in third place. These guys stay healthy. You know, they're as good as a lot of teams. I still feel they're a trade away, and they have health concerns, so I don't necessarily see them in the finals, respectfully. We got Phoenix in 4th place, 16-12. This might be their last year to go all the way before they start making some big moves. We got Portland at 15-12. Damian Lillard, he's putting up big numbers, but for how long with the same city? We have the Clippers at 16-13. Again, we have Paul George and Kawhi sightings. Health and wealth to those guys. As long as those guys are healthy, the Clippers are as good as any team. We have your Sacramento Kings 14-12. Hey, De'Aaron Fox. Hey, top 10 or bust. We've been the top team in California for the past month. Like I said, you see the Clippers only half a game in front of us. But yeah, this past month, the Kings have been better than the Clippers, been better than the Lakers, been better than the Warriors, record-wise. So yeah, we just, as long as De'Aaron Fox is back in the lineup, we're good. We compete with every team we play, and what are we right now? We're on a 2-game losing streak. Again, we just lost to the Knicks and the Bucks. Just as I stated, we got De'Aaron Fox out the lineup. So when De'Aaron Fox comes back in, we could beat anybody in the league, including the Warriors. We have the Utah Jazz sitting at 16-14. Again, a few weeks ago, they were just in first place. When did they pull the trigger on trading their valuable assets to get young draft picks and to move forward, because they're not looking to make a deep playoff round with their young roster and various draft picks. We got the Dallas Mavericks at 9th place, 14-13. Again, respectfully, Luka's getting a lot of Houston James Harden comparisons, and usage. Keyword usage. This is a word I've said when it's come to, like I said, Luka's in this conversation. You had James Harden and all his years in Houston, and then and Steph Curry went respectfully. Steph Curry when Klay Thompson was out. Usage. Use a player a lot. Use a player. Like I'm already hearing on Dallas radio. Okay, you got Dallas in 9th, Golden State at 10th. You don't want to use your best player all game every game. If you want to, cut down his minutes and this and that to have him fresh for the playoffs, of course. And the longer you again, that's
they might not get to the playoffs if they don't use them though.
They right, like again, I was real critical on the Warriors maybe about a few weeks ago. Again, Steph Curry had to score 47 points to beat the Kings by 3. You don't want to rely on your franchise player to score 30, 40 points every game and do everything else.
You definitely want
you got to spread the responsibilities for sure. All right, and then you got the outside looking in of the playoff hunt race, play-in playoffs.
The Warriors
seedings. Slowly
creeping back into this thing.
Nah, they're in 10th. They're there. I said that. Okay, so yeah, the Warriors are 14-14. What I mean, you got. I respectfully, I felt that they weren't just going to breeze through the season, first, second place all year long, and and yes, they won the championship. They won it.
They wanted what?
They won it, but it's just like, but to do it all over again and have more mileage on your tires and your transmission versus any other player, any other team. This is like for them to be and have the roster that they have, and for them to be a 500 team, usage, fatigue, So do they make a move? And and you don't want to, there's a lot of these guys. This isn't 5 years ago.
Who are they move other than Draymond? Who are they moving?
Keep Poole, Wiggins maybe, Clay maybe, but you don't want to upset. You don't want to Steph. And then Wiseman was their high draft pick and didn't work out. So yeah, they got a lot of young guys. They could figure something out. If they're staying packed, they're staying packed. But they got an uphill battle for sure. So Minnesota, outside looking in, 11th place, 13-14. Yeah, it's Karl-Anthony Towns is injured till further notice. Dang. I see them being outside the playoff hunt, looking, at the outside looking in until Karl-Anthony Towns comes back. They were the favorite team, but if he's out the lineup, I don't expect to make them predict for them to make the playoffs right now as is. You got the Lakers 11-16. Again, they've had some impressive wins. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. LeBron James, Anthony Davis has put up numbers, all-star numbers. I don't know about MVP numbers. You can't be considered MVP if your team's not in the playoffs, respectfully.
What's up with my guy Russell Westbrook?
Last time he's still fit. He's not in trade talks as much, but again, nothing should be off the table for the Lakers at this point. If you want to build around LeBron one last time, but nothing should be off the table. But if somebody gave them a grandfather deal for anybody on their roster, they need to listen, period. You got Oklahoma 11-16. You got Shai Alexander putting up great numbers, but the organization is still looking to tank, is still looking to acquire high draft picks. They're not trying to make the playoffs this year and make a playoff run. They're looking to get younger and better. You got San Antonio 9-18 and Houston 9-18. Same again. Those two for sure going to be probably the last two in the West this year with their young squads and their rebuilding timeline. And those last three teams are probably looking to acquire the young French teenager phenom. So these are some teams are already throwing the towel for this season, looking into hey, if we had this guy this time next year and he was on the roster, yeah, we could have a 20-30 game turnaround.
You gotta stack your chips.
There you go. So that summarizes the standings for the NBA, Eastern Conference and Western Conference. And we're about a third way of the season. And, I feel I don't see anything happen, but I don't see, hey, shout out Cynthia.
Shout out to Cynthia.
Shout out to OG, Triple OG was a part Never Satisfied before I got here. Shout out to Triple OG.
Cynthia's amazing.
Many talents, Cynthia. Big part of the meeting when I got here. And, but yeah, everything, I don't see any significant changes as far as, we know who's going to be in. We know who's going to be out. There may be subtle, but nothing extreme other than the Lakers making it. Or who would fall out of it? Yeah, the Lakers making it is probably like the biggest.
Do you feel like it? So do you feel like that race will get closer between those California teams?
Yeah, I mean, again, we're from first place to 10th place is 4.5 games. The Lakers are 2.5 games up the 10th spot. So the only teams I feel out of it in the West right now, because that is not their MO, you got the Thunder, the Spurs, the Rockets, 13, 14, and 15th. Minnesota's trying to make it. That's why they got Gobert and all that. So they're the outside looking in. They want to win. You got the Lakers that want to win because they don't have all LeBron and Westbrook and everybody if they didn't. Utah will probably make the decline. They'll probably, start fizzling out. Toronto might start fizzling out if they trade their players. Chicago will fizzle out if they trade their players. So, yeah, I expect a busy deadline for sure. Somebody's going to break up
when
their
is
team.
The deadline?
The deadline is like the second week of February.
Oh, you still got a lot of time.
Yeah, but December 15th, and we're on December 14th. A lot of contracts become tradable December 15th that were signed just this previous offseason. Because when you sign a contract, you sign to the Mavericks, whatever, you sign, new contract, you can't get okay, prime example, Jalen Brunson that left the Mavericks to the Knicks. He's the top, he's one of the main ones I can think of off the top of my head. Just signed a new deal. You signed a new deal to a new team, whatever. You can't get traded within that first 3 months of the new deal. You have to wait 3 months, then get traded. So December 15th, tomorrow, a lot of players, I don't know, it's like 20% of the league, something like that, becomes trade eligible versus they weren't before. So more players and trade and scenarios. We talk about Westbrook and Kyrie all the time because not everyone's be eligible to get traded yet.
Yeah. Compared
to December 15th. So one of my favorite times and days of the year is the trade deadline for sure. Because it's always, you expect, even if it's a small trade, it's again, somebody's looking to, you got buyers and sellers.
I was about to say somebody gonna make a deal.
Yeah, you got buyers and sellers. You got the buyers that want to get better and win more games and make the far run, and you got sellers that are like, you know what, we're not getting it done this year. Let's think about next year. And then within the league of 30 teams, there's always going to be some teams that are looking to get better, and there's always going to be a handful of teams that are looking to pack it in and start fresh for next year.
And we can look at the standings.
All right. So time check, sir.
About a half an hour in.
Half hour. That's what we shoot for with basketball. Like first 30 minutes of the program. And other than that, no real big off the court issues that I can recall.
Nah, everybody been behaving.
Everybody been behaving. There we go. Respect,
Yeah,
love. Respect, love.
Y'all
Peace,
boys been
wealth,
been
health to
behaving
everyone.
yourself lately.
There you
You
go.
know what I'm saying? I can't say
Don't
nothing.
got us talking about you. That's
Yeah.
good. So moving forward,
We can go into the
football. All right.
scores last week. It was an interesting week. You know, it's getting closer to the playoffs. Oh, appreciate
No
you.
doubt, no doubt. You know, we be talking a lot. So,
Boy, my throat be
right, bro. Right.
I'm-
Need some tea, something.
I'm just getting over the bronchitis. You know what I'm saying? Finally getting better.
So we got you.
So last week was week 14.
Yeah.
Thursday night.
Schedule.
Thursday night was actually a really big game.
Let's see.
I watched it.
14. So week 14. Okay, we had. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
was. Okay, so
Baker
starting out-
Mayfield.
Yeah, it's Baker Mayfield signing. So the first game of week 14 was a Thursday night game. We had your Las Vegas Raiders visiting the St. Louis LA Rams. Rams with the W, 17-16. Baker Mayfield, 230 points, was with the team 48 hours, requested his release from the Panthers when decided he wasn't going to be the starter nor the backup moving forward. So he was slated. He went from QB1 to QB2 to QB3 within the season, right?
And
Not because of
not because of injury.
Yeah, because moving forward.
But
You
he
weren't
goes
worth
out
your
to LA.
deal, respect. Moving forward, quarterback gets injured. Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl winning quarterback, he goes down. They put in the waiver claim. Some teams were rumored, at least 5-10 teams were rumored to at least look at him. And the Rams picked him up. It was kind of out of left field, but they picked him up. And he was with the team 48 hours. And then he
Throws a game-winning touchdown.
game-winning drive, game-winning touchdown with the team for 40 hours and did that. You know what I'm saying? It's one game. I'm not saying they're Super Bowl bound, but I'm not saying I'm about to get a Baker Mayfield jersey tomorrow, but
So Baker Mayfield done bought himself some time.
bought himself some time. There you go. Again,
He
for
bought
him
himself
to
some time.
get thrown, like I said, he's still capable of throwing touchdowns in the National Football League and winning games.
And for all we know, Matt Stafford might retire soon. So
Ain't no telling, right?
soon
He
meaning
had-
like
ain't no telling. Yeah, what's his incentive? He had a 10+ year career in Detroit.
Yep.
At least 10 years,
got a
Pro
Super
Bowl numbers, and he comes to the Rams and gets it done. So he's had arguably Hall of Fame career. What more is he playing for? Unless
Man.
he wants to play in the 45,
he ain't gonna make
40,
it that far.
45 years old.
But shout out to Baker Mayfield.
Shout out
though.
to Baker Mayfield getting that win and prolonging his NFL career.
Shoot, what was the next game we
Okay,
had?
so starting Sunday,
Was it? I think the first game was Jets Bills.
Jets Bills. We had the Jets visiting the Buffalo Bills. Shout out Big K. We had
So the Bills got it.
Yeah, Buffalo with the win, 20 to New York 17. Mike White passing the leader, 268 yards. What's going on with Buffalo? Lost Von Miller, ACL season. That's a big hit.
I mean, they're still in the lead though.
Still Super Bowl favorites. If I'd be betting money outside the home team, I'd be rolling with the Bills, man. I'd be rolling with the Bills.
Josh Allen, a really modest game. 16 for 27, 147 and a touchdown. Mike White, decent game, just doesn't come out with the W. My man Joe Flacco.
He's looked like he won. He's winning the job there. He's getting the starts. He's putting the big numbers, and you got the.
He's won the team over. That's what
he's won the team over, and Mr. Zach Wilson, former number 2 pick in the draft, has appeared to lost the team.
Next game, we got the Browns losing to the Bengals, and another week of me feeling like, why did y'all give Deshaun Watson all that money?
Hey, but hold up. Like I said, Cincinnati 23 to Cleveland's 10. Deshaun Watson 276 yards. Hey, that's still better than half the league right now. And he fresh off the couch, fresh out the massage parlor with 267 yards in the game. That's impressive. That's impressive.
It's impressive.
It's impressive because he sat out at the seat. You know what I'm saying? He's not in game shape compared to other players. Should be fresh, but the fact that he is still physically top 32 quarterback, you know, and back before everything happened, he was arguably top 5, top 10. But he's still a starter in the league.
Well, we'll see
still
this weekend.
Still a starter in the league.
My Baltimore Ravens go against the Cleveland Browns, and we'll see how Deshaun Watson fares against his defense.
Yeah, we had Joe Mixon with 96 rushing yards and Ja'Marr Chase with 119 receiving yards. Next game, we had the Houston Texans at the Dallas Cowboys.
Now, I got to talk about this game.
We sure do. Dallas 27, Houston's 23. We had Dak 287 yards. And, yeah, it was here. It was back and forth. I saw parts of it.
No, the Texans were dominating.
The Texans
were dominating.
Are eliminated from the playoffs. You know, going to the game, they were 1-10-1. So essentially, they're playing for a high draft pick, but these players are playing for the rest of their careers.
They already got that number 1 pick locked up, man.
Okay, okay. So, but you know, they came to play, and you know, when it comes to the world of sports, the world of competition, never underestimate your opponent. Always respect your opponent. And maybe Dallas kind of took them a little
They scared
light.
the shit out of them Dallas fans.
What they do? They threw a pick or two.
There was a couple picks,
couple picks, couple fumbles. Houston was leading like a lot of the game.
Yeah.
And Dallas had to drive and win it at the end.
I want to say that Dallas was losing with 2 minutes left.
Right. You know, yeah, correct.
So, you know, I ain't going to lie. A lot of people were like, we're salivating at the idea of a 1-11 team beating your Dallas Cowboys.
I mean,
just
I work, but again, looking back at the schedule past like month or two, like the cheapest games on the schedule was for tickets was the Colts game and the Texans game here in Dallas,
which is kind of surprising.
But you know, you got the Colts out the playoffs,
Yeah.
you got the Texans out the playoffs, so hence that determines
we got the
prices of the game.
We got the Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard watch.
Oh, for
Ezekiel Elliott, 15 carries, 62 yards and a touchdown. Tony Pollard, 10 carries, 42 yards and a touchdown.
I mean, for them to win, they both got to play good. Like that's how we look. If the Cowboys think they're going to the Super Bowl, everybody need to be on point. You know, not again these non-sightings.
How did they beat the Eagles though?
How do they beat the Eagles? Well, they're not beating the Eagles. No, they're not beating the Eagles. So. All right, respect.
Next game.
All right, so
Upset of the week.
Okay, Minnesota at Detroit. Detroit 34 to Minnesota's 23. Kirk Cousins 425 passing yards in the loss, and Justin Jefferson 223 yards. What more do they got to do? But Detroit all year, great offense, bad defense. Jared Goff has been forgot about. He was the player traded.
I don't think they're eliminated from playoff contention yet.
No, they're still in the hunt. Yeah. And then you know Minnesota's on cruise control. But again, the thing about these divisional games is ain't no telling what could happen. And if anybody knows your team inside and out, it is the 3
teams in your division.
The 3 teams within your division. If anybody knows you inside and out, it is the teams that you play twice a year since you've been playing been in an organization. Too.
Now, do you think Justin Jefferson should be considered for Offensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like the thing is, you know, similar to the 49ers, respectfully. I'll compare Justin Jefferson to Deebo Samuel as being top tier receiver. And then you got, you know, and then comparable to their quarterbacks, mid-tier quarterbacks, respectfully, your Jimmy Garoppolo's, your Kirk Cousins. Justin Jefferson is getting it done with his legs, getting it done with yard after catch. Yes, big part of the success. I feel, the 1-2 combo of Cousins and Jefferson is as effective and good as they are because of Jefferson.
Also, side note, Jared Goff might have had the greatest game of his career on Sunday. 27 for 39, 330s, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Perfect passer rating.
So he's looking to get Detroit back in the playoffs, and I'm sure it tears him up to see the Rams, the team he got drafted with, win the Super Bowl because of the trade that they made
for him.
For him, exactly. So to give Detroit,
it's like literally saying you suck.
Yeah, I'm sure he has all the drive and the will to get Detroit at least to the playoffs one time before he hangs it up. I feel he's there. He's there for the long haul. He's their guy. Unless they draft a new quarterback moving forward, but
I think they'll keep.
they'll keep him for the time being, right?
Yeah,
for the time being. Because he puts up big numbers. Detroit needs to build a defense. Period.
Yeah,
their offenses is dynamic. They've been in a lot of close games, but they're not stopping anyone.
Next game we got Eagles 48, Giants 22. Man, that boy Jalen Hurts went off in this game, man.
Miles Sanders, 144 rushing yards. A.J. Brown, 70 reception yards. Yeah, Jalen Hurts, 217 passing yards. My opinion, National Football League's most valuable player, Jalen Hurts.
I would agree.
You put up the numbers and you're winning. They're the best team in the NFC. They look to lock up the first seed and have the first round bye of the playoffs.
I think if they win next week, they'll lock up their division.
There you go, and then them beating their division rival, the New York Giants. So big statement game for sure.
It's crazy that the Redskins was the ones that beat them.
I'll do it.
They probably can't hear that though. The people.
I hear it. It's gotta listen to me.
It's right there.
Where?
On the floor.
Next game, sir.
But yeah, so the next game we have would be my Baltimore Ravens 16 and the Pittsburgh Steelers 14. So Lamar Jackson's out, knee injury. Tyler Huntley gets knocked out of the game, concussion. We had somebody with the most generic name come in and play at court and brag.
QB3.
I want to say his name
Creating
was
player QB3.
I want to say it was like Anthony Brown. So I looked at it. I was like, this is like the most generic name that you could.
Brown, creative player.
Yeah. So
has
Anthony Brown
no
came
virtual
in.
currency. No.
Yeah.
Rookie, young guy, older guy.
I think undrafted free agent.
Bounced around the league a little bit.
Yeah. Ravens still won the game.
Shout out to the Ravens.
Running game was on point. J.K. Dobbins is back, and Gus Edwards, which means we have like that dynamic rush attack. Defense is really
divisional game. You need that. Baltimore did not lead to lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No, we didn't
this season.
But big stories away from this game. They say since we traded for Roquan Smith, we actually. Not the entire season, but we are rated the number 1 defense since we've traded for Roquan Smith. Yep.
Since then, maybe, but
no. I said since we traded for him.
Since then, I'll take that. But
since we traded for him. Since we traded for him. So
we all know who the best is overall.
I mean, hey. Overall, it's cool. But down the stretch, when we need to be hot, the defense need to be playing well. If we the best in the league, then I'm cool with that. But it seems like that trade is paying huge dividends. Teams can't get run against us. Teams are barely able to pass against us, and we're holding a lot teams out of the end zone. So, only thing is we got to get in the end zone. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Greg Roman and, Lamar, I'm praying for your knee, bro. But, yeah, we need to get the ball in the end zone. We need maybe we bring in Odell Beckham.
That wouldn't be a bad look at all.
I don't know when he's gonna be ready to play.
Yeah, the Ravens
But
they
we
cash out
need-
on some receivers for sure.
Like Deshaun Jackson has been okay. He's made a couple of catches, but like in order for us
So
to,
do they get the deal done?
I don't think.
So we're not talking about that yet.
I don't think Odell Beckham's ready
I'm
to play.
talking about Lamar.
Oh, they're gonna franchise tag him
Franchise tag him. Yikes, that sucks.
because they not.
Yes
gonna,
and no. Yeah.
They're not gonna give him the money. that he's
Franchise
asking
tag.
for.
Yikes.
I
So
can
we
see-
having this conversation all next year.
I think that's what's gonna happen. Me personally, I don't know. Maybe
I
they
see it
give
though.
him the
But
money.
once you said it, I see it. If he didn't get hurt, then maybe not. But the fact they got hurt, I think not. That like he bet and he lost, man.
Yeah, he
You
betting.
bet,
the
you
loss.
bet on yourself and you lost. And when you get hurt, they're gonna hold that against you.
So,
That sucks.
You know.
and they were kind of there. Fuck, I hate when that happens.
but that's okay, Lamar. I'm praying for you. Hopefully, we got the Browns on Saturday afternoon. I like to see how this defense plays against Deshaun Watson. We probably going
In Baltimore, in Cleveland.
I believe it's in Baltimore.
We'll see. We'll cover it next week. But 1-2.
Next game, Jaguars at Titans. Jaguars 36-22.
Divisional game.
Divisional game, and Trevor Lawrence is
368
playing
yards.
like
The number one pick in the draft.
yeah, he's playing like
the number one pick in the draft.
yeah, he's playing like he's not a bust.
Jacksonville 36 points. Again, he puts up 368 passing yards. Derrick Henry with 121 rushing yards, and Evan Ingram with 162 receiving yards. Jacksonville, what is it?
What is it?
I mean, they still Tennessee's still the team. Tennessee's still the team.
Funny thing is, I think next year they'd be all right.
Yeah, right. I think this might be passing of the guard. Tennessee, out of all the teams, I mean, we'll look at the standings, but all the teams that are divisional leaders, I think like the Titans are like the least, Super Bowl bound compared to every other divisional leader. But we'll get to that, But any given Sunday, Jacksonville with the W.
Next game.
We have the Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Let's Ride Broncos. 34-28 AFC West matchup. We have Pat Mahomes with 352 passing yards and former 49er now on the Kansas City Chiefs, Jerick McKinnon with 112 reception yards. I have him in both of my leagues, and he had like 20-something fantasy points. So
I ain't got much to say.
No,
Broncos
but
finally got in the end zone.
Pat Mahomes is, Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs are rolling. A lot of people got them favored to go to the big game. Vegas has them right after the Bills going. So let's everyone calm their horses. They started slow, but they're picking up. And then Russell Wilson got a concussion in this game. Shout out to him. All jokes aside, I don't see anyone get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Even if I talk all the stuff about you. So look for him to sooner than later. But the Broncos, real quick, are out of playoff contention. Last time I checked, they were like 3-10. So they're out. They're out. So they're out the playoffs. And then football gods, have Russell Wilson hurt. So they're going to, again, players are playing for the rest of their careers because they're not playing for the playoffs this year. And again, all jokes aside, you highly entertain trading Russell Wilson. Yeah, because if you didn't make the playoffs this year and this and that, unless they make extreme moves, I only see them getting worse next year.
I don't see anybody trading for him, though, not with his contract.
I feel, again, okay, if you look at the standings, like I said, putting my GM hat on, what if Matthew Stafford retires? I think, okay, as an NFC West fan and hating on him all those years that he was in Seattle, the best fit for him would be returning back to the NFC West. So just hear me out. With either the Rams or the Cardinals, because the Rams just, Matthew Stafford and Baker Mayfield isn't the long-term solution. So I think the Rams will entertain anything. And shout out to, we'll get to him in a second. They just lost their game. Shout out to Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's out for the season, torn ACL. So, or I think there's a couple other places. Maybe Green Bay Packers, if Aaron Rodgers forces his way out, what are they going to do? I don't know. I don't think Russell Wilson is done. Even as much as I love to hate on him, he can still play somewhere.
I just don't think anybody's going to trade for his contract, though.
So
highly unlikely.
We'll see what happens to them. But other than that, Denver, if they keep that contract and he's there the next 3-4 years, Denver will be out of playoff contention the whole time.
Panthers, Seahawks.
God bless the Carolina Panthers. They beat the Seattle Seahawks. Something about them Panthers. Carolina 30 to Seattle's 24. Geno Smith, the high man, didn't matter. They had 264 yards. And, shout out the Panthers. They're still in the hunt. The NFC South, respectfully, is arguably the worst division in the league, and you can arguably win the division with a 500 record.
Or less.
So they are in it. They are in it to win it. They're rebuilding. They're moving forward. Again, the 49ers gave them 4 draft picks for Christian McCaffrey. So nothing but love and support outside looking in that way. And shout out to the Carolina Panthers for beating the Seattle Seahawks.
Go ahead. Talk about the next game.
All right. We have Tampa Bay Buccaneers visiting the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 35 to Tampa's 7. We have Tom Brady with 253 passing yards. Christian McCaffrey, 119 rushing yards. And Brandon Ayuk with 57 receptions. Okay, so we have QB3, original QB3 of the season, Brock Purdy starting his first game. Jimmy Garoppolo went out the game before. You just don't need to mess up. So, and he played efficiently. He outplayed Tom Brady as far as QB rating. Deebo Samuel went out. Some criticize the play calling, including Jerry Rice came out, spoke against the coaching staff, saying when we run plays up the middle, i.e. Trey Lance out for the season, i.e. Jimmy Garoppolo out for the season, i.e. Deebo Samuel, he's out within a month. He avoided a high ankle sprain and he sprained his MCL. God bless Deebo Samuel. It looked bad. It looked like a season-ending injury. I was almost about to swallow that pill, but they say Deebo should be back before the playoffs start. So, we're in 18 weeks, so they said Deebo should return about week 17, week 18, and help us finish off the season. But you get your best player hurt. That sucks, but we're still winning games. We have depth at running back outside of Christian McCaffrey. The fan base is criticizing why are we using keyword usage. Why are we using Deebo Samuel when we're winning the game and putting him in dangerous situations? And he got hurt. So that's we got the W. And Tom Brady, a lot of love and respect towards Tom Brady. I feel there was maybe low-key recruitment going on. Again, a lot of autographs being signed, a lot of pictures being taken. Nothing should be off the table. Nothing should be off the table. So
you think that's
you put Tom Brady on the 49ers right now, we're going to the Super Bowl, the end. If you made that trade today, fantasy, hypothetically, you make that trade today, it happens. So again, Brock Purdy, thank you for holding down the ship. We got, QB1, QB2, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo going out. No time to hit the panic button. And just to sum all that up, Richard Sherman made an excellent point. He talks about the 49ers a lot, being a former 49er, former Seattle Seahawk. He said, what if the 49ers make the playoffs? Then what do we do at quarterback? Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, Brock. He said it would be a blessing and a curse if the 49ers win the Super Bowl, because what do we do at quarterback after that? Great question.
So what injury does Jimmy Garoppolo have?
Broke his foot, and he might return. He might return. Yeah, he might return, But like I said, let's not hold our breath, ladies, boys and girls. Trey Lance out for the season for sure. They said Garoppolo was out for the season. Then they said he might come back. But might come back in the middle of the playoffs, all that. You can't rely on that. You got to move forward, right? Yeah. And you know what I mean? Like, and if he comes back, it's a blessing, It's a blessing in disguise. But yeah, we Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. That means he was the last pick in the draft.
We'll see what happens.
He is 22 years old. He is 6 months older than Trey Lance. They're both 22, but Trey Lance was drafted the year before. Mr. Irrelevant. So he's the last pick in the draft this last year, and he's the first player to throw a touchdown pass, being Mr. Irrelevant. So defense was championships, and we still have the best defense in the NFL.
Next game. Dolphins 17, Chargers 23. Man, Tyreek Hill still going crazy. This game pissed me off because Jalen Waddle didn't do a doggone thing.
We have the man, Justin Herbert, 367 passing yards. Austin Eckler, the high man, with 45 rushing yards.
But Austin Eckler did his thing.
And Mike Williams, 116 reception yards. The Chargers they're still fighting for a playoff spot, so they're putting up big numbers. And Miami.
I mean, it's a close race.
It's close race. Yeah, Miami is one of the most dynamic teams and can play with anyone.
Yeah,
Miami can play with anyone, legit. Last game.
On Monday.
And today is Wednesday. We have the New England Patriots beating the Arizona Cardinals 27-13. Shout out to Kyler Murray. He tore his ACL.
Sheesh.
I tore my ACL. How old was I? Like 20. It is literally the worst pain you can feel physically. Like imagine if you're just standing. This is my best
non-contact injury.
That's the worst, and that's how I tore my stuff. But if what it feels like, say you're standing like on your two legs, say you're standing on one leg, and someone just drop kick the shit out of you like right here, and your knees like this, and your knee just bends in a way it's not supposed to. Your ACL, you get 4 ligaments in your knee. Your ACL is your primary one. Your ACL, MCL, PCL. And basically what that does, it holds your weight up. Like your knees hold 75% of your body weight. So that's not, that again, it's, and for you to be dynamic and move, again, ACL holds you up. You tear your ACL, you cannot put weight, again, now, without your ACL, without your meniscus, and you keep on doing all kind of physical activity, you don't get the rehab, don't get the surgery, then bones can grind. Right. So that's what I learned. Like I said, I had 2 ACL surgeries in my day, and that's how I got medically discharged out of the United States Navy. So yeah, torn ACL. I always have a soft spot for any player that tears his ACL. Yeah, shout out Kyler Murray, NFC West rival. Always a love-hate relationship with all the divisional rivals because you see him so much. You see him, more than anyone else, and then he is a local product, Allen, Texas, and 23 is a big fan of Kyler Murray. So Kyler Murray is out for this season. The Cardinals got some things to figure out.
Yeah,
they got some things to figure out. So you get hurt late in the season, ACL takes at least 6 months to a year. Arguably a year, some 6 months or what. It depends, because if it's a partial tear or a complete tear, there's a difference between the ACLs.
I think he's
completely tore out of there. So probably a year to come back. So we're at week 14 of the season. So he will not be, and then
he'll be maybe.
We're in December, and training camp is July, August. Yeah, summer. He'll be doing like non-contact stuff and solo stuff, but as far as playing in the preseason, hell no. He will not be ready by training camp. 100%, he will not be ready by training camp. But get well soon.
I think this is low key really bad for his career, though.
It is, because the thing is, like, if I'm the Cardinals and he's out for a year, I start trading these players.
Yeah.
I start trading the running backs. I start trading Deshaun Watson, or not Deshaun Watson, excuse me. I'm thinking Deshaun Watson, former quarterback of DeAndre Hopkins on the roster. You get what you can out of DeAndre Hopkins because you're going to have Colt McCoy passing to DeAndre Hopkins for the rest of the season and all next season. I don't know if that's a success for winning football. Colt McCoy, shout out to all the QB2s, shout out to backup quarterbacks that could get thrown in the game and still get it done. But Colt McCoy is not going to lead your team to the Super Bowl, respectfully. Standings?
We got time for the standings, and then we might have to chime out here.
We're kind of close?
Well, we got other stuff to do today.
Yeah, of course we do. Okay, so we got the playoffs. So the playoffs start today. In the AFC, we got the Buffalo Bills. With the bye week, the first seed, we got Kansas City, second seed, Baltimore, the third seed, Tennessee, the fourth seed, Cincinnati, the fifth seed, Miami, the sixth seed, and New England, the seventh seed. And in the National Football Conference, we got Philly locking up the number one seed at 12-1. Minnesota 10-3 at second place. We got San Francisco 49ers 9-4, Tampa Bay 6-7. Fourth place, they're winning the division, so that's why they're up there. You got Dallas 10-3, Washington 7-5, the Giants 7-5, and the outside looking in on the NFC, the next four teams outside looking in: Seattle, Detroit, Green Bay, the Panthers. But I think it as is probably what it's going to be.
And the only team that has clinched a playoff spot is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. All right, so that's that. We got 5-10 minutes. Real quick fantasy run through.
Yep.
5 minutes fantasy, 5 minutes closeout, and we'll see y'all next week for sure. Thanks for tuning in. Normal Guys Talk Sports, episode 23. All right, moving on. We have fantasy football. We got real quick. Yeah, before football. We got 49ers in Seattle Thursday night, so get ready for that, everybody. Okay, so moving on, fantasy football. In my primary league I've been in part of 10 years, all my fellas in LA, the official Shane Falco fan club, the season. Most fantasy leagues, the week 14 was the wrap up of the regular season, and next week 15, is week 1 of the playoffs in fantasy football leagues. Not everywhere, but majority leagues, the playoffs about to start. So I locked up the second seed of my league. We have 6 teams in the playoffs. We have first 2 seeds with the bye week. So I have a bye week. I have a bye week this week. So I like my chances. I big games from Jahmyr Chase and Jalen Hurts to get me locked up to go to the playoffs for sure. Okay, so moving on to our league, the All Out Blitz. So the playoffs started. The playoffs are set. Before the final game of the season, I was sitting at 4th place, looking to make the playoffs. Shout out to Matt Got Cameras and Ghost for both leapfrogging me, putting me out the playoffs. And we have
Kyler
4
Murray's knee that forced this situation.
There you go. We have 4 teams in the playoffs. And then we have NY Rican in the first place going against Ghostbusters, which is he got the 4th seed at 8-6. And then we got the Hardest Vato at 8-6 going against Matt Got Cameras at the 3rd seed at 8-6. So it was like a 5-way tie for second place at 8-6. So I finished 8-6 as well, but my points for my team wasn't as much as the others. Hence, I did not make the playoffs, even though I had the same record as teams that did. So shout out to Matt Got Cameras and shout out to Ghost Busters for making the playoffs, and good luck to you guys on the rest of the way. And Cloth Top has a 50% chance of winning the whole damn thing.
I think I got a good chance.
So Matt, in his potential lineup, He's, as of right now, he's got a 50% chance. They both projected about 135 fantasy points. You got Matt with his lineup: Pat Mahomes, Eckler, Waddle, Cooper, Schultz, Hopkins, Dobbins, Baltimore defense, Justin Tucker. Matt's got a complete squad. Respect. Matt's got a complete squad, and I'll be rooting for him, of course. And then we got Ghost. He's got his lineup: Jalen Hurts, Barkley, Jefferson, Singletary, Duvernay, the homie from Baltimore, tight end Minnesota, Hawkinson. He was on the Lions.
That's a tough
Smith.
matchup for Ghost. I want to see him win, but that's a tough matchup.
We want to see Ghost win, but NY Rican beat me in the last week of the season, hence putting me out the playoffs. And then they've had the best record all year long. NY Rican, shout out to the homie Triple OG NY Rican. He was on the show during the draft.
Yep.
And his first pick was Alvin Kamara. We're talking so much cash. And he did that.
Yeah.
Best record. He has Trevor Lawrence, a quarterback. Alvin Kamara was his first round draft pick. Pollard saved him for sure. Pollard.
Pollard has some big
games. It's Pollard. He's got Pollard and Ja'Marr Chase, Kelsey at tight end. Walker was a rookie Seattle running back. He's doing good things. So yeah.
That's how he win in them games. He got those he got damn near 4 starting running backs on the team.
Yeah, but no, shout out to, once again, shout out to Matt, shout out to Ghost. We have 14 teams in this league, and only 4 teams make the playoffs. I feel we could have did at least 6 or 8. 6, 6 maybe,
Yeah, we could have.
Yeah, because I finished 6th record-wise, but in the Constellation, which we call it, bracket, I am going for 5th place.
Shit, you might get your money back at least.
How's that work?
I think
Make the playoffs.
I know if you make the playoffs, you can get your money back probably and then some. But I think if you win the Constellation bracket, you could still get your money back.
They don't tell us an app. No one wrote it down, but we will shout them out. It was one.
I think I got this, man. I need that.
No, it was $120 to join, right? $120, and we had I don't remember. Was there weekly incentives? I don't remember.
We didn't.
but
I need that band.
Shout out to everybody. But like I said, put in a petition next year. We expand our draft. Again, our draft rounds was 30 seconds compared to the standard 2 minutes. And we have 4 bench slots compared to the standard 6. I'm going to argue we go at least a minute, 2. I'd love my 2, but maybe people argue that. And can we bump up to at least 5 roster spots instead of 4?
Nah, I will.
But we got 14 teams, so I say average leagues are maybe 10 or 12, so we got 14, so this talent is scarce, but I'm cutting players I do not want.
It's more competitive though.
Way more competitive for sure. Way more competitive. You gotta bring the sauce. And like I said,
and you gotta be clever in that.
Matt got cameras, Ghostbusters, King Edward III all finished 8 and 6 in this league, and we all tied for 2nd place, but we only got 4 seeds to make the playoffs. Again, shout out to Matt, shout out to Ghost, and I am on the outside looking in.
About to get this title, baby.
Rather, good to see it. Like I said, no hate from over here. Shout out to Matt, man. So that sums up fantasy. We'll be back next week and give you the results of the week 1 of the fantasy playoffs for us. Okay. Closing out.
Yeah, we got to wrap.
We got to wrap. Bass got to get the hell out of here. Yeah, we got work. We got clock. Yeah, we got shit to do. Okay, so shout out to everyone tuning in. Another episode, successful episode, great episode of Normal Guys Talk Sports. Episode 23. This is Wednesday, December 14th. Episode 23. I said that. Okay, shout out to the studio, Never Satisfied Studios. Everybody here. Everybody. It takes a village, takes a team. Championship caliber team. That's what we got here. Never Satisfied Studios. Shout out to the CEO, Never Satisfied, Double R, the owner, the head coach, the general manager, and QB1 of the organization. Thank you for all that you do for us. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you forever. Shout out to the clothing line, Shop Never Satisfied. Get you some merch. Support the brand. Support the cause, the movement. Shout out to Quiz and Nene and Keaton, everybody, pushing the clothes, everybody pushing the merch. Shout out to Bistro 808. We just had an event there Monday. I was in and out. I had errands running, but shout out to everybody there. Bistro 808 International Cuisine here in Texas, Dallas area, Texas. There you go. And then shout out to Calio's Tacos, big homie, Triple OG, Cali, best taco truck in the Dallas area, originally from South Central and IE of LA, Southern California, for sure. Shout out to the other shows on the network, Smoke Detector 23, Timeout Podcast with the homies, Shit I Don't Know,
DJ Kev.
Lansing Down, DJ Kev, all the shows on the Never Satisfied Network. Shout out to everybody.
And stay tuned for some more shows.
And some more shows. We got Ghost say he got his R&B, whatever it's called, working title. He got some stuff going. Shout out to Ghost. He's got his show coming. Come on, hurry up, Ghost. And then and we need a theme song for the show. Did he send it to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so shout out to Matt. It's going down. Yeah. Undisputed Lil Wayne right here. Same shit. And then shout out to Everything Is Both, the movie coming 2023. Shout out to Jason Mitchell, the homie. We saw him last night. Love you, bro. Man, I can't say enough about Jason, man. You are the
Shout
man.
out to my guy
Jason and Corey, man. New Orleans finest, man.
And
See y'all
Corey.
soon. Holla at y'all soon for sure. So shout out Everything Is Both, the movie. Directed and written by Jaquavius Coleman, also starring Barton Fitzpatrick, Stakaya Washington, the homegirl, and then and King Ed. Yeah, I'm in there, of course. And then shout out to Dynasty, the movie, written and directed by Dallas's own Lioness, also starring Lil Flip. Man, your boys in the movies, 2023. Here we come, man. We on the way. I believe that's
it.
That's everything, man. Shout out to Matt, always getting the show done. Working behind the scenes, everything that Matt does. Always shout out to Matt. Bringing you the show
And the other shows.
Yeah, Matt does everything around here for sure. There is no podcast, there is no shows, there is no network without Matt. We gotta get up out of here, man. Thanks for tuning in. See y'all next week. Final thoughts.
I'm finna win this fantasy league.
Hey man, Tokyo Cash, man. Support, man. Support, man. We'll celebrate when you win. How about that? We'll go to the daiquiri shop.
Catch
a game, man. We'll go to the daiquiri shop.
We'll report back on it in 2 weeks. We'll know what
Yeah,
happened.
for sure. All right, man. Everybody have a good week. Shout out to everyone tuning in. See y'all next time.
All right.